comfortably. I'm going to mute everybody. So comfortable seat, breathing in the nose, holding that breath a bit, slowly letting the breath out. Holding the breath out for a bit, then inhaling. Holding, and then exhaling when it's time. Let's do this about 8 or 10 more times, using the breath as a gathering point for the mind, a simplifying down for the mind, to just that most basic observation of the present moment. Also be observing the physical changes that are happening with the breath. When you take a large, smooth inhale, there's an expansion, an almost chiropractic adjustment that occurs at the spine and the torso and the ribs. When you exhale, there's an opportunity to let go of layers of grip and tension. And at the bottom of the exhale, there's an opportunity to just be still, not quickly rush into an inhale, but pause the mind, pause everything a moment, and then let that inhale come in again. So about 8 more. With that breath rhythm, let's begin our spinal movement. Sliding hands forward past the knees as you round. Tip your pelvis back, round forward, sliding hands forward, opening all the muscles around the sides of the spine. Then relax that effort, tip yourself back to the middle or neutral, and then go through neutral, lifting heart, lifting chin, pulling elbows back, lifting through the throat space, and then relax all that effort and settle back to neutral. This is like cat-cow from yoga. It's also just the idea of trying to locate and bring mental awareness to the 24 movable joints of the spine, as well as the pelvis that's tipping and tilting, the shoulder blades that are retracting when drawing back, protracting when going forward, and also the movement of the skull itself. So trying to reclaim conscious ability to control each of these parts along our center line. Last one. And I always like to finish with the rounded version. Make that your last one that you do, because that really opens everything up. And then just soften your way back towards neutral. Feel as though a string is tied to the top of your head. And it's just lightly drawing you up. So you're not having to hold yourself straight. Relax and feel that center line going up. Now we do gentle twist. Left hand to left knee, right hand to right hip or buttock. And just turn your lower belly area, your rib cage, your shoulders, your head. Use the power of your arms just a little bit to deepen that twist, just to bring out the muscles there. And then relax that effort and turn back to center. And then we go the other way. So right hand to left knee, turn, gently twist, bring it out. return to center. One more to each side. Back to center, and once more. So that is spinal rotation. Back to center, and then we do lateral flexion extension. Drop the arms alongside you. Let your right arm get a little heavier. Imagine dripping water out of your right ear, and let your left elbow and hand just float up. So we do a little side bend. And then relaxing back towards center. And then relaxing into the other side. Let that right elbow float up as the left arm gets a little heavier. And back to center. Again, each side. This time, if it feels appropriate, let that left hand float up like it's made of, like it's like a balloon, and then press up into the ceiling to get that stretch along the side of the torso. And then melt that hand down and just let it fall like a leaf down. And then other side. So now you're in the middle again. From the middle, make sure you're forward on your chair. I forgot to say that beginning. Make sure you're at that front edge. Now bring your legs closer together, and we're going to do our shoulder blades. So now the arms can really hang. Right shoulder blade up. That's called elevation. And then just melt it down. Left shoulder, elevate. And then melt all the way down. The down is the most important part. Going up like so sort of exhausts any tension in the shoulder, neck muscles. And then we soften and let that melt and really get it to hang. Once more left. And then melt down. Now both. Up. Melting down. Arms totally relaxed all the way through the fingertips. Once more. Shrug. And release. Now, protraction, shoulder blades separate from the spine. There's a natural rounding that happens. And there's a natural internal rotation of the arms where you turn so the back of the hands face out. And let your chin drop as well. So now we've spiraled inward. Then relax all that effort and come back to neutral. Then go the other way. Lift the chest, shoulder blades go towards each other in the back, palms turn out. And then just relax and settle back to neutral. Do that again. So again, it's this chest going in, shoulder blades separate and slide around the side, the arms turn inwardly. And then relax that and settle back to neutral. And once more, open. And settle back to neutral. Now, let's put it all together. I'll turn this way so you can see my arm. Right arm only goes forward, up, back, and down. Forward, up, back, down. Notice how the arm, when I go forward, it's internally rotated. Up and back, by the time I get back, the arm is externally rotated. And then as I melt it down, it comes back to neutral. So it's not because I'm doing that. It's actually because I'm not doing anything that is happening. So I'm out of the way so that the natural behavior of the arm bone can flow. That's tricky at first, and then eventually you can do it. Now go the other way. Back, up, forward, down. Same idea. As I go back, the arm is a little externally rotated. As I come up and over, the arm goes through a rotation and then down, down. So it's a little bit almost like you're swimming. Swimming. One more. And switch sides. Forward, up, back, down. Make sure the driving force is the blade, the shoulder blade on your back. There's like 9 different muscles attaching that shoulder blade, and it can get so filled with barnacles and stuck spots that then it causes pain up through the neck and head. Go the other way, forward circle. It can negatively affect the thoracic spine, the cervical spine, the shoulder joint. So these shoulder blades are very, very important to have, not only able to move through their range, but most importantly, to let go and drop. All right, now both. As you go forward a little, let the shoulder blades do that forward arm internal. Then shrug up and back and lean up and down with the shoulder blades. Come forward and up. So now we're adding this feeling of fluid. 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 Almost like rowing, right? One more in this direction. Notice how my arms are doing quite a bit in that they're like sort of flying through the air. Let's go back the other way now. Back, up and over. But once again, it's not because I'm doing that. It's because I'm out of the way. I'm really moving the shoulders full range. And I'm really letting sort of almost like momentum, fluid momentum, rush through the channels. Right? Sort of like swimming. One more. And back to neutral. Now this one's a little tricky in that right arm forward and up. Now as it goes back and down, left arm forward and up. Then as it goes back and down, right arm forward and up, left arm forward and up. And so we're circling, circling. I feel how that kind of rings out the tissue between your shoulders and in your back. There's like knots in our body, these little sort of like tangled, twisted areas. Go ahead the other way. Forward. I also like to say this is a pretty sweet dance move, right? Next time you find yourself in a situation where you got to get groovy, this is a good one. This is a good one. And done. All right, now feet back to shoulder distance or hip distance, whatever's comfortable. Left hand on top of right knee, that's for stability. Right arm hanging. Then lean just a bit over. Notice how I'm doing that side bend to give this arm the ability to hang out of the joint. Then draw a circle on the floor. A little larger circle. Larger still. So this hanging arm and then circling in the socket. Now, if it feels appropriate to you, once you got a big circle, sit up and do that circle on the wall to your right. Circle, 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 and then let it hang down. Now we're going to circle in the other direction. Lean, inward circles. The key is it hanging? Does it feel relaxed? Feel how soothing that is to the joint. And it's just open and easy. And then sitting up and keeping that circle. Notice my hand's not going above my shoulder, really. I'm not reaching to the ceiling for this one. Just keeping it simple. And other side. Outward circle. Larger and larger with each round, and then maybe if it feels appropriate, get up. But if you sit up like this and it doesn't feel that good, go back to that first version because you're able to clean out some of that tension. Because a lot of times if we haven't learned to relax, we can't really do this freely. And then other direction, inward. And inward or forward circles in this case. And relax. Good. Now, elbows. Fold. Compress gently at the elbow joint just to then relax the elbows. Feel like a hose unkinking. And then drop the hands down and feel that unkinked hose. Feeling the springiness of the elbows to bounce up and down like so. All right? Do that again. Fold. Gently press just to feel what it's like to have closed elbows and then open. And then keep them open even when you drop your hands down, meaning don't lock them. Let them stay open and bouncy and fluid. Float your hands up in front, palms facing the sky. Turn palms down and up. Notice I am not moving my upper arm bone. I'm just turning the forearms, the wrists. The fingers are sort of finishing. There's this like corkscrew quality there. Palms stay facing up. Go a little in, out. In. Notice the fingers finishing out, finishing in. Finishing out, finishing in. Then in, fold. So we got this position here, folded wrist. Drop the fingers and hands through and have them face forward, and then spin so the palms face up. Fold and go through, point fingers forward, spin, palms face back up. Fold through and spin. And then eventually, once you trace the pathway, then take all effort out of it and just flow it through. Super soft, super relaxed, and you can even add speed to it, but not intensity. It's just boom, 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 and palms face forward. Now spin so the palms face out. Drop the fingers so they face down, and then offer out. Spin, through and out. Spin, through, out. And then once you get that path, then you can just sort of flow. Circling at the wrist, the finger joints, everything's relaxed. And down. Palms up. All the bones and finger joints in the hand. And then you can even take it as far as that, right? So I started nice and small and then get to the point where the whole hand and relax. Spread fingers. Make a claw, tiger claw, and then into a fist, but keep your fist with space in there. So we never compress the fist completely. That's the Tai Chi fist. There's space in there. And then open all the way wide. Again, claw to fist. This time, turn the arms this way and press inside edge of the elbow and hand and round the back, pull the elbows down, drop the chin down. Then elbows out, palms open, palms up. And then here we lift the chest, lift the chin, and pull those elbows down and behind us a bit. And then float the hands up, claw to fist, wrap, come around, and squeeze. Reverse it, float open. Elbows pull down and back to activate the upper back muscle. And then release and come up and over, claw to fist, wrap, squeeze. Let's do 2 more of those. Open, flare, sweep, pull down and back slightly. Up, claw, fist, wrap, pulling down. Last one here, we just open halfway, just to like a sort of full sponge. And the arms circle down. Good, so that's a lot of upper body stuff we just did. Shoulders, joints of the arms. Now let's move to our legs. Sit back against the back of your chair so that you're very comfortable there. And then bring your hands into those Tai Chi fists like you're a boxer, hands up. Now, it's called chambering. You lift, so you're hinging at the hip crease, but you also draw the heel. Notice how I drew it in. So it's like a loading of a spring. That's how we create power in our legs, this loading, and then set it down. So in martial arts, if you were standing and doing kickboxing, just loading your leg like that is a powerful sort of gesture, because it's saying, hey, it's loaded up. There's power here, right? And so again, hopefully you don't have to be kicking people in your life, but the idea of that's how this is built. So load, and then you can set it down. Load, and then set it down. Now let's load and express that power through the heel. So load, push through the heel. Reload, set it down. Other side, load, push through heel. Reload, set it down. Load, push, reload, shift, load, push, reload, down. Now load and push out and hold. Point, flex, point. Notice I have no shoes so you can really see the toes. Flaring, clenching, flaring, clenching. Now keep your foot drawn back and go a little in and out. It's called eversion, inversion. Then circle, inward circle, inward circle, inward circle, outward circle. And rechamber, down, switch sides, push, point, flex. Get your toes as involved as you can. And invert, a little in, out, a little gentle rolling of the foot at the ankle joint, very important for keeping balance on uneven surfaces. And inward circle. The brain is getting discernment on each moving part. Other way, circle. Right, so this is medicine to the brain. It's also nourishment to the brain. The brain feeds off of these body parts doing these various movements. The nervous system really needs that. And we come back and down. Scoot to the front edge of your chair once more, all the way to the front edge. Now the hip socket is built in a ball and socket joint. It needs to externally rotate and internally rotate, just like shoulders and other points. So this rings out the hip here. Lift the left ball of foot, and then on the heel, turn so that leg externally rotates. Lift the heel. Swivel on the ball of your foot, and notice this sort of awkward looking position, but the knee doesn't feel any pain if done right. It's in the hip. You feel this sort of inward rotation ringing out. Then lift ball of foot, roll out again, external rotation. Lift heel, internal rotation. You kind of push that heel out, and then finally open and hold. Now at this widest angle that you can create for yourself, then challenge with the thumb and hand and fingers there to open up any tissue that's feeling stuck. A lot of knee pain, again, comes from tension up in here that we then clear out. Now let's walk it back in. From the hip, internal rotation, lift the heel. External rotation, lift the ball of foot. Internal, really bring it in. External and neutral, other side. Lift ball of foot, external. Lift heel, internal, holding it here for just a moment. Feel that ringing out. And then let's open it. Lift ball of foot, external. Lift heel, internal once more, and then finally open, full width. Rub that inner thigh, thumb, fingertips, palm. Use the thumb on the inner knee. Clear that whole space. And then let's walk it in. Internal, external. Internal, external. Neutral, both legs neutral. Now the legs stay stable, but the pelvis is the moving part. Hinge at the hips. Notice I didn't round my spine. All I did was tip at the crease of the hips. So eventually rounding the spine is good and healthy for the back muscles and the nervous system, but we just want to make sure we're clear on hinging at hips, making sure you know what that feels like. Now this time, as you hinge at the hips, slide your hands forward and down your shins as you round, low back, mid back, upper back, let your head hang. Stay rounding in the spine as you come back up. So you're tipping the pelvis back up, you're only moving at the hips, but you have a rounded spinal column. Then as you get all the way to the top, you sort of lean the chest back as you tip your hips forward. So we're leaning back, start tipping the hips forward, and that will create this wave-like motion. And then we go for it again. All the way down, round. Stay round as you come all the way up. And then let everything get long through the crown as you tip forward. Now you should be in that gentle back bend. Round. All the way. Release. And all the way up. So this is shaking loose the heavenly pillar Let's do 3 more where you're getting hip hinge, but you're also getting every one of those 24 vertebrae to gently shake loose. Barnacles, adhesions, grip, tension. Last one. All the way up. Good. Now, step your feet both wide apart. I noticed how I did that. External rotation, internal rotation. Now I'm neutral. This is like a horse stance. Take your hands on your inner, right above the knees on the thighs, fingers on the inside. So notice I've turned my arms like so. And just lean forward a little bit. And notice that you can turn your chest to face to now your left, and you get a little ringing out in the shoulder and a little twist in the spine. Then turn back to center and go the other way. So you sort of drop. If I'm going to do this, I'm going to think drop my left chest forward and turn and create a little ringing out in the shoulder, neck, upper back. Do it once more each way. Sort of hang in it a little bit. And you hang in it a little bit. And let's come back up. Now the dragon stirs the sea with its tail. So my hands are still here. I lean to the right, and notice I've already turned a little bit to the right. And then I fold at the hip crease. So I'm bowing forward, and I'm a little bit twisted. Then I come through, and the shoulders go through that changeover. And then I'm leaning up and back, and even leaning way back. And then circling around and stirring the sea with my tail. Sweeping through, big, deep stir of the sea. And back, I'm stirring the sea. So I'm still moving in the hips. That's my main joint of movement, is the pelvis around those thigh bones. But I got the legs stepped out wide. I got the arms planted on the legs. And I'm getting this. Let's do one more in that direction. Getting this almost gentle spinal twist as I'm moving through it. Let's switch directions. Go back and through, stirring the sea. And back and around. And this just can feel so good to the hips, so good to the joints all through the back, all the back tissue, and also up through the shoulder. So if done correctly, this one is amazing. It just rings out all these little crevices in the body. And we're back to neutral. Walk those legs back in. Alrighty. Now, arms out to shoulder height. Notice here, these shoulder blades are exactly what we'll say neutral. They have not done any upward rotation. Arms come down. Same thing here. If you float the arms forward and up, then the shoulder blades really don't have to do much. They just sort of stay stable and back down. Now, arms go out to the side. Turn the arms palms up and reach up. Now, shoulder blades are doing what's called upward rotation in order to achieve this position. Now, get more upward rotation on the right by reaching higher, 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 and then relax that and reach the left arm higher, 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 and relax that. Right arm higher, 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 higher. Oh, and relax that. Left. Oh, one more of each. Breathe. And then both. Breathe. And sweep. We just cleaned out all this junk in deep around the neck, chest, shoulders, and all of that. Now, forward and up. Right about here, no shoulder blade movement necessary, but now any bit more, the shoulder blades are having to go through that upward rotation. Now, once you get up here, try to lift the chest and rib cage up and slightly arch backwards, like you're about to do a back bend. A rainbowing of the spine. Reach. And relax. All the way down. Rest your hands on your thighs. 8 breaths before we stand up and sit down a few times. Relax your skin, muscle, tissue. Find that structural alignment that you don't need to grab on at all to hold you up. Rather, the alignment and integrity of how you've arranged everything does the work for you. Breathing. All right. Standing up and sitting down. So we bring our feet back a little bit. Arms hang alongside. Hinge at the hips. Head goes past your toes, and get yourself into this squatted position, and then push through the ground, and notice how that sends you up, rooting down. So that means when you stand up, if you're correctly rooting, you shouldn't need to hold anything at all. It should just be ease, total relax, total soft. Sitting down, fold, stick your butt back. Then bend the knees, sit, find your chair, and then sit up, and again, find that ease, total relaxation. So just an appropriate amount of effort, and rise. And then relax again. And then sit. Two more. Maybe you just flow right through it with no pause. Maybe you just flow right through sitting down like it's just the easiest thing in the world, but not out of control. Same thing here. I'm flowing up, but at no point am I throwing myself into a dangerous position. And also as I'm sitting down, I'm controlled the whole way, even though it can feel almost like a falling to the chair, but it's controlled. Last one. Now let's tap into those power, the earth power in the legs. Sit, but don't sit in your chair. Sit low, hover, and hold. Isometric contraction, staying in a position that requires the muscles on all sides to activate to keep the joints in place, right? Because we're not standing perfectly aligned, that has value because it adds charge and heat and warmth and power and stamina. Right? Squatting, all that. 3 more breaths here. Always feel free to come up a little bit or all the way up as needed. And then pushing through the floor, rising all the way to standing. Tai Chi squats. Best way to understand the Tai Chi squat is to do it wrong first. So standing, comfortable distance in your feet, lock your knees back, feel what that's like. Notice how it jams up your sacrum a little bit when you're locked back like that. Then unlock the knees and notice the room for your sacrum to drop. So you're no longer sticking your booty out, you're actually allowing that to go through. Do that again. Come up and lock. So this is going way too far, right? But some people stand like that and we just get accustomed to it. And then open the knees, let that weight go through. And notice how it's just maybe an inch or less of a rise and fall. Let's do that a couple more times. Rise. Go too far into the rise and lock everything back. And then unlock. You don't bend your knees, you just open. And then relaxing, let your weight go through. Feel the ball of each foot as the root point. Once more. And then open everything up and let it all go through. All right. Now, our basic Tai Chi hands. Rising, forward and up. Then, painting down, notice the fingertips follow all the way down. Rising, you can even add a little shift just a little bit forward and up to let it sort of fluidly move all the way through. And then as the hands come down, there's this bit of sink and almost settling back a little bit. Again, rising. Settling back. Now with the same quality, hands in front like you're cradling, low cradle, out to the sides. Notice the roundness. Notice the roundness. And then sink shoulder blades, elbows, wrists, fingertips, drag behind. So it's very important to create these round shapes. So I'm going to come a little closer so you can see. See, notice I'm not straight lines. I'm round. And then round. It has that look of a bird, right? The crane flapping wings.
Adam, you're frozen.
Like we're frozen. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. Okay, we're back. So come up through the middle and then out and down. One more like that. It's called up and out. Up and then clear that spiral pathway. And down. Now we go out like crane wing. Now this is this important term, roll and fold. Roll, right? Roll and fold, right? So we're going out, and then we just catch that roll and fold, and in they come. So you get this feeling of relax the shoulder joint and let it go out like a wing, and then just roll and fold so you get to catch the ride and come around to center. One more. Float up, roll and fold, and down. Now put all of it together in an asymmetrical way for added challenge. Crane wing, left arm roll and fold, right hand crane sweep back in, hold the ball, called embrace the moon. Left arm does that spiral out as the right hand becomes that crane wing and they meet at the wing height. Then left hand sweeps under, right hand roll, fold over, hold the ball. Reverse it. So think of it as two sides of a yin-yang, right? One is rising and one is falling. They come together and meet. Then they go away from each other. They're both moving simultaneously. Some of you have been doing this a little bit, and you're starting to feel, oh, okay, you can control it. Others of you, if you're newer to it, it's going to feel sort of brain challenging, right? But that's its beauty. That's the beauty of it, is it's simple, or it's easy. What is it? It's simple, but it's not easier. It's easy, but it's not simple. It's like we're not doing something too crazy, but it does challenge us in an important way to control two parts and make them do opposite things, but yet stay connected. Right? That's how the whole world works, the yin and the yang of everything. All right, back to crane wing and down. All righty, so now just the legs. Remember, let's go back to the idea of open knees, sunk tail, balls of each foot. So you're in your Tai Chi squat. Shift your weight over to the right leg. Let the weight all be supported by just your right leg. Your left leg so empty that maybe you give it a little swivel. And then switch, shift. Let the weight go through. Other leg is empty. Then feel the change. Middle, and now all the weight is through one leg, the other being empty. And then change. This is lateral shifting. But you want to notice, we'll do two more each side. You want to notice that there's some amount of going to the side, but the key is not to keep going and going and going and going, but rather to open everything and get through the ball of the foot till this foot becomes empty. Then we shift. Open hip, open knee, open ankle. Ball of foot is a bullseye that you hit with your relaxed weight, and that empties out your other leg. Now, shift to the right. Now, pubic bone, just turn it a little bit to the right. Just a small turn. Keep it turned that way, shift to the left, and then turn the pubic bone just that little bit to the left. And then shift to the right and turn the hips to the right. If everything is relaxed, shift left, turn left. If everything is relaxed, the turning of the hips turns the spine, which turns the shoulders, which turns the head, which turns everything, right? So if we're really relaxed, then we can just turn from one place and everything else responds. Now notice if you relax the shoulders and arms, the hands start to do the bear, wash, and pause in the stream. But just because you see some hands doing some movement, try your best not to get caught up in that. Instead of just relax and keep doing the same shift of weight through the ball of foot, turn the hips, and the hands just naturally sweep through. So we're generating power, we're executing movement, but with relaxation as the mode. Last time through to this side. Now being the right side, put your right hand behind your back. Left hand turns palm to face back to the left. Shift left, turn left. That's called brush knee. Turn the hand around. Shift right, turn right. That's called sweep the leg. Turn the hand, brush knee. Shift, turn, brush. Turn the hand, shift, turn, sweep. Now, brush knee, listen close. Shift, turn, brush. Let that keep going into a crane wing. Remember crane wing. Roll and fold. Now everything's loaded up to do a push. Shift right, turn right, and the hand pushes as if to push something across away from you, but then let the hand fall back into the water. Let's brush knee. Shift left, turn left, brush. Crane wing, roll and fold. Shift right, turn right, push. Down into the water. One more. Shift, turn, brush. Crane, roll, fold. Shift, turn, push. We're just polishing out that wrong kind of strength and getting that more supple kind. Now bring the right hand out, sweep it across. And when we sweep it across, then wrap left hand behind your back. Now let's brush knee. So shift right, turn right, brush knee, and then sweep the leg. Shift left, turn left, sweep the leg with the right hand. Shift right, turn right, brush. Shift right, turn right, sweep. Now brush knee and push. So that's shift, turn, brush, crane wing, open shoulder, roll and fold. And then shift, turn, push, and into the water. Shift, turn, brush, crane, roll and fold. Shift, turn, push. One more. Now, as you push and go down with the right hand, left hand, crane wing, rolls and folds. Shift right, turn right, brush knee, and push. Right hand rises, crane wing, roll and fold, left hand into the water. Now we shift, turn, brush and push. Cycle through those hands, and then shift, turn, brush, push. Polishing. Think of this as polishing out. How are you executing this movement? That's the beauty of repetitive motion. It has its downside, but what if you can understand it as each round is a polishing. Polishing that nervous system control. Last one. Now you're in the left side. Do the hand switch, one up, one down, but keep left fingertips pointing up to the sky, right hand down in the water. Now your right leg is empty. Step it a little behind you, toes turned out, and almost like you're sitting into a chair. Use your leg as a spring-loaded chair. Now, as that back foot becomes your support leg, front foot empties, maybe has 20% left in it. If so, you can feel you've got your toe on the ground. If you can get even more weight through your back leg, can you get to your tippy toes like I have mine? And if you're on tippy toes, can you do this little challenge? Lift and lower. Now, as you do that, if you lift and tip back and lose your teacup, that means you didn't quite have your weight empty in this leg. So empty, you should be able to lift and lower it without a single change to any other portion of the body. Now, again, that's not going to happen right away, but the idea of relax through the back leg, And then last one, can you lift and hold somewhere? If not, toe on the ground, fine. But if possible, you even bring it up almost to a chambered position like we did earlier. Golden rooster stands on one leg. 3 breaths. Set that left foot down empty, toes turned out. Shift. Sitting through the back leg to empty the front leg, get to the tippy toes. Maybe play with that. I forgot to say switch the hands. Left hand down, right hand up. If the right foot is empty, then you can lift and lower, just really lightly. Don't spill the tea on your head. Maybe you work on how high can you get that leg nice and empty. Lastly, lift to a height you can hold. When you're holding, rather than tightening everything up, praying for us to hurry up and be finished, open everything up. Relax, let the weight go through that standing leg. It may quiver a bit. Over time, that quivering turns into support power. But you got to open everything up, let it get through. Last 2 breaths. Set the right foot down, empty, toes turned out. Let's flow through 2 to each side. Shifting to the right, right hand comes down, left side. Golden rooster. Set left foot down, totally empty. Shift. Hands change. Empty right side. Sitting through the left leg. Set the right foot down, empty. That's key. Don't fall into it. Then consciously shift. Rise. Back down. Shift and change. Back down. Now, get back to your Tai Chi ready stance, parallel feet, shoulder or hip distance, knees slightly bent, standing bear. Shift and turn. Shift and turn. Shift and turn. This time, bring that right hand behind your back. Left hand sweeps the leg, turns into vapor, and rises up, becomes a cloud. Shift to your left. Turn to your left. The cloud comes across the sky. Clouds naturally rain and refill the lake. Shift to the right. Sweep the lake. Lakes naturally turn into vapor and rise up. Then we shift and turn. Cloud across the sky, naturally rain, refill the lake. Shift, turn, sweep, lake, vapor. Shift, turn, cloud, rain. Shift, turn, and shift, turn. Good. Now bring it across the lake once more. Bring the right hand out. Do a double standing bear. Wrap left hand behind your back. Right hand is just swept the lake. Rises like vapor to a cloud. Shift right, turn right, cloud. Rain. Shift and turn, lake, vapor. Shift, turn, cloud. Lake, rain. Shift, turn, lake, vapor. Getting out of the way. So we're causing this movement, but we're not holding it back, right? We're shift turning and letting it just flow like fluid flows. We're mostly made of fluid, don't forget it. Some of us have become more calcified over time, but you can regain that softness. Now, right hand comes up, bring left hand out, left hand in the lake, right hand is a cloud, shift and turn, cloud and lake. Vapor and rain at the same time. Shift left, turn left, cloud and lake. Vapor and rain. Shift, turn, create that flow through, ride that flow through, and then catch it and bring it back across. Shift and turn. So you know you're advancing in your practice when you start to be able to execute the movement and it feels easier, meaning less work, less unnecessary effort, only the appropriate work. Now you're executing what needs to be done with ease, right? Isn't that a great goal? We don't want to necessarily make things harder and harder for ourselves, but that's what a lot of people's fitness regimes do. They don't focus on E. And left hand comes down, standing bear. Standing bear, we use that to get back to the middle. Good. Now, move safely to the right side of your space. So you have a little bit of a runway across. We've been working on this side step work, which then goes with that play with clouds to add challenge. So bend both knees, find that little open place, put all your weight through your right leg, left leg being empty. Just notice that if the hip is empty, it can do this. It can move laterally. Adduct or abduct, adduct, abduct, adduct. Now, abduct or take the leg away, land it on the ground empty, shift and change. Which leg is your support leg now? Empty your right leg, and notice you can bring it in and out, in and out. Now, the next time you bring it in, leave it in so you're at a close stance, change. Notice how there's not a huge amount of left and right, but it's through. Now the right leg is your support leg, left leg empty, float it, step, shift, underground. Now as the right leg is empty, it can easily float in like a feather, and then we shift and change. Now the right leg is full, left is empty, you step the empty out, keeping it empty, then shift. Try to relax your arms alongside you rather than holding, so this release, stepping in, shift. Stepping out, shift. Now switch directions. We come in and out with that right leg, and now we're going back. Stepping in, shift. So you notice what often happens is we end up sort of falling off the side of the foot because we haven't learned to go through straight down to that ball of foot, especially here. It'd be very easy to teeter-totter too much, but work on going a little over and getting the weight through so that that right leg becomes empty. Shift. Now it's empty. Step in. One more. And there. Now, right hand behind your back. Shift your weight through your right leg. Turn to the right, sweep the leg, and vapor up to a cloud. Now we're ready to go. Bring left foot in, step it back out. Now we're ready to go. Shift and turn, cloud. As it rains down, step right foot in, keeping it empty. Shift into the right leg, turn the hips and sweep the leg, vapor up. As you vapor up, step left foot out. Then shift and turn, cloud. As you rain, step in, empty. Shift and turn, lake. As you vapor, step left foot out. Shift and turn, cloud. Rain as you step in. Shift and turn, lake. Vapor as you step out. Shift and turn, cloud. Now, rain the left hand down behind your back as you bring right hand out and up to a cloud. Step in, step out. Shift and turn, cloud. Rain as you step in. No weight, so that you can shift to that left leg and turn to create that momentum. Step out. Shift and turn, cloud and rain, step in. Shift and turn, lake and vapor, step out. Shift and turn, cloud. Now bring that left hand out and do it through the lake. Step in as you vapor and rain. Now, left hand high, right hand low, step left foot out. One more round. Shift and turn, cloud and lake. As you vapor and rain, step in. Shift and turn, cloud and lake. As you vapor and rain, step left foot out. Shift, turn, cloud, lake. Vapor, rain, step in. Shift, turn, cloud, lake. Vapor, rain, step left foot out. Shift and turn. Switching directions. As you vapor rain, step in, step out. Let's go back. Shift, turn, cloud, and lake. Vapor rain, step in. shift and turn, cloud, lake, vapor, rain, step out, shift and turn, stepping in, vapor, rain, shift and turn, vapor, rain, step out, final time, shift, turn. Now, keep your left hand low, right hand comes down, sweep across, standing bear to the middle, step back to the middle of your space. Some of you will remember this sort of finishing move that we've been doing. Others of you, it'll be new for you. Just try to pick it up. So I'm going to turn sideways so you can see. It's called sinking chi to wash organs. It's the cleaning out, the finishing. Rock a little bit forward into the balls of your feet. Rock a little bit back towards the middle and even a little towards the heels, letting the hands float a little back. Rock a little forward, hands float a little forward. Now, rock back as you do, crane wing, rock forward and notice how that sends the fluid out through the fingertips and have the hands end up so they go from here all the way to there, way out in front, so you're sort of at the edge forward, and then rock back like you're washing in through the mouth, down through the front seam. Now, when you get your hands to your belly button, point the fingers down, sit like a squat. Round your back gently, release your shoulders, let everything hang. Then push through the floor to send you back up, noticing that root and how your vertebra just stack out through the crown. Doing it again, rocking a little bit back to start that circle, crane wing, rock forward, sweep, be at the sort of forward edge. They call it dipping into the distance, dipping in, and then rock back and like you're washing that life force in, down towards the belly button. That whole region is our main dantian or center. And then sit the tail, rounding, opening up the vertebra, rising back up to stand with less tension. Again, crane wing, rolling, this sort of dip into distance feeling, rock back in this washing, drinking in, down to the center, right behind the navel, about 2 inches behind navel. Then sit the tail, release, round, hang everything in. Rising back up to standing. Pausing every time, right in between, 2 more. Rock a little back to get that circle, and rock forward to catch and send that circle out. Rock gently back to be an inviting, drawing in feeling, down to the belly. Point fingers down, open hips, open knees, open shins, open ankles, through. Push through the earth, rise back up. 1 more. Rock a little back to open that circle, forward. Back is drinking in. And throughness, through. Pushing through the floor, rising back to standing for a moment of pause, and then we finish the whole practice, the bookend. Crane wing, roll and fold, and then washing from the brain through the eyes, ears, nose, mouth and tongue, throat, heart and lungs, liver and spleen in the front, kidneys in the back, stomach in the middle, digestive tubing. Hover the hands right in front of the belly. The idea is 2.5 inches deep. If you put your finger in your belly button and went 2.5 inches straight back, that's your main coalescing chi center. That's the Chinese medicine idea, and I will tell you there is something to it. There really is. So get your mind, your listening energy, your gaze to that point 2.5 inches behind, and relax everything around that energetic center. Let all the life force that we just let out to play come back to its home, where it can rest and multiply. 5 breaths here. Place one hand over your belly button like a cork in a wine barrel. Place the other over top, sealing the practice. And then relax and be at ease. Thank you so much, everybody. Find a seat, be comfortable. A great thing to do, unless you have somewhere you have to go be, is to just do nothing. Come to a rest, be still. Let the mind go to a complete zero. And that idea that allows things to soak into the bones, soak deeply into our reservoirs. So if you have the opportunity to do that, please do. I'm going to unmute here. Please confirm the unmuting for any questions.